Hey, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ryan Kingsley. I am the center manager here at the Minnesota Interagency Coordination Center. In the fall of 2023, we put out a Viewpoint survey, quick 5 question survey, kind of asking what the center was good at in the last year, what they needed to improve on, and your thoughts on how to improve. I want to go over the results of that survey today. So on my screen, you can see we've got the survey. We'll just walk through this step by step. This is the same PowerPoint that I did present to the MNCC task force for their feedback and also to be able to create taskings off of for follow-up. So like I said, the survey was 5 questions. Respondents could choose whether or not to provide contact info for follow-up. I emailed this out and opened it up on October 2nd. We also posted this to the minix.org website, and it was closed on December 15th. The first question is, what is one or more success you see of MNCC this past fire season? Some of the summary of responses we got were decent coordination across the agencies, got the help we needed for staffing. The process was confusing, but it worked. Ability to maintain staffing and be flexible. Implementation of Wildcat E. Incident dispatches went smoothly. Logistical communication in and out of state. Operations training new dispatchers. The consistency in dispatchers, and care about accountability and looking for room for improvement. One of the biggest responses that we got, and we heard it multiple times, was the atmosphere has improved dramatically. This was sent by multiple respondents, like I said, and this is something that the center has struggled with for multiple years. I wanted to highlight the importance of this response. Most dispatch centers right now are greatly understaffed, and a lot of it has to do with the atmosphere that the workers are in, the dispatchers are working in. How do you rate MNCC among other centers that you have worked with? This was pertaining to centers like if you go out west on a fire assignment and you're working with the dispatch center. We did this on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. The average of all the responses was 6.5. The most chosen response was an 8, and 68% of our responses were a 6 or above. What is one or more ways MNCC could improve services? Accuracy of aircraft status reports, more AAR or audits of service, the radio issues, dispatch training offerings are not widely communicated, email distribution lists being accurate. We struggle with email distribution lists. There's a lot of movement within the agencies, and that's just something that is hard to keep up on. So a lot of the times we have folks that have been retired for multiple years within our email distribution lists. And at the same time, we get detailers coming through, and we end up with folks that worked here for a little while and they no longer work within the state, and they're still on our list. Logistical requirements for dispatching out of state are confusing. There are a lot of steps to go through there, so we understand that confusion. Understand the on the ground needs better. Improve perceived agency divides, blend interagency better. Interact more with in person with the field. What is something that MNCC should focus on or could focus on for the upcoming 2024 fire season? Send dispatchers to the field and area offices to put faces to names. Will help better understand the frustrations from the field. Better leading from above, information passing seems not to be happening. More opportunity for training such as tarot training and scenario interactions. Less remote working and have staff in the office. Hard to contact some folks when working remotely, and team atmosphere isn't working when the same staff are not in the building 80% of the time. Create quick guide on how to get on the availability list and what is expected when available by agency. Create guide on the process for ordering, receiving, extending, and what requirements there are that the field doesn't think about. Include dispatch sections in RT-130s. Any additional thoughts or questions you'd like MNCC to see and or address? Better training for radios and etiquette. Some smoke chasers can't even change batteries. Improve timelines of tarot to resource. Give a quick phone call with dispatch info and follow up with tarot. Need more scenario training on a large scale. More cross training and utilization. No need to transfer between different dispatchers all the time. 6 of the 27 respondents included follow-up information. I personally reached out to those that included that to thank them for taking the time, and that I would include them with plans for follow-up and documentation. And I have done that, reached out and sent them this PowerPoint presentation that I did, as well as letting them know some of the steps that we've already taken. My personal summary of this, I feel that the survey overall went well. We had a range of responses from entry-level ground folks to management. I feel that the field finally felt that their input was asked for and would be followed up on. I also felt that we have some actionable items that we can work on, but we also did receive good positive feedback as well. The biggest takeaway for me personally was that we truly do have a better atmosphere here at MNCC, and we're on the right foot for the future. Some of the actionable items that came from this, aviation specific responses were forwarded to Darren Newman and Matt Woodwick with the state aviation group for their input and assistance in tasking any actionable changes. The radio struggles do continue. I personally am working with the Forest Service and DNR radio techs to get us to a point that all councils and dispatch are able to run operations and aviation. And at the same time, we're also discussing the future of our radio operations within the state as a whole to ensure that we have adequate coverage areas and we don't have such problems with on the ground communications. Cross training and utilization. This year, 2024, operations and aviation staff will mix, and hopefully we'll be able to pull logistics into that once we are able to get to that point. Right now, we do have detailers in helping both areas, and we are cross training staff in both areas. We do remain having the ACMs for aviation and operations staying in their positions in order to ensure that there is guidance and direction from their areas. Ryan Johnson, our operations ACM, is going to be taking the lead on training floor employees in intel work and assisting the MNCC Intel office, Jolene, when possible. Wildcat E training does continue to take place statewide. There will be growing pains with Wildcat E, and we hope that those are going to be minimal. But we do have staff out of the center that are assisting with these trainings, as well as we have staff that are available to assist via phone calls, text messages, emails, and if it gets to a point where we need to, we are also able to assist in person. The 24-hour MNCC on call continues to be problematic for field units. Getting a hold of the right person when you need to can have some issues. Hopefully, by cross-training all of our staff here at the center in all of the functional areas, we're going to get to a point where one person can act as the point of contact for all areas and can handle the requests after hours without having to go specifically to that functional area. We do recognize that there is a need to do a better job at management and passing information from management to field level. And we also recognize that there is a need to clarify the differences between the Minnesota Interagency Coordination Center, the MNCC Incident Command System, and MIFC, the Minnesota Interagency Fire Center, the building as a whole. Some of the items that we got from this that have been developed because of this survey or have assisted in development are the MNCC standard operating procedures that we now have in place for 2024. We have also created online training modules and recorded training sessions. So we have a quick reference for dispatchers in the field to be able to get to valuable information. We have more accountability with getting information onto the MNCC website under the MNCC dispatch heading. In the forms, guides, and plans, there's a lot of good information in there, and we followed up and added in all of the new forms for 2024 to ensure that there is a one-stop shop. We have also done a virtual dispatch refresher statewide that included 2 days of training sessions, and those were all recorded and posted as well. In addition to all this, having the YouTube channel now centered under the center, we are going to be able to put out information directly onto that for folks to be able to access when they're capable and able to do so. In addition to all this, there's multi-step processes involved with the task force for following up on a lot of this. As you can see, some of the issues that we do want to task out are going to be long-term problems that we need to find solves for. With all of that coming in and the early start to fire season this year, the follow-up will take time, but we do recognize that it needs to happen, and I am committed to ensuring that it does happen to the best of our capabilities. We will be putting this survey out again for 2024, and we hope to encourage everybody that is able to take the survey, and we can continue to develop the best dispatch center that we can offer out of MNCC for you in the field and on the ground. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please follow up and get a hold of myself, Ryan, RYAN, Kingsley, KINGSLEY, at USDA.gov is my email address, and I am available whenever you need so. Thank you again.